Hi, I'm Rachel Scott for YYOGA, and this is a short tutorial for how to do eagle pose, Garudasana, properly. So eagle pose is a balancing pose, and what's really cool about it is that it asks us to bring our legs together and kind of internally rotate the legs. So it's one of the few yoga poses that really does that position through the hips. So when we're coming into eagle pose, how we get in there matters. So generally it's easier to start off in something like chair pose. And then what I like to do to really instruct the hips, and we'll start with our right foot as our standing leg. Come onto your left toes and then take a moment to internally rotate the leg, externally rotate the leg, and just feel kind of how the hip can move here. And do it without swinging the hips all around, right? So keep the pelvis nice and steady and just turn the thigh in and out. Now for eagle pose, the more you bend your leg, the more access you have to get into it. So we'll try to get down nice and low and bring the weight into the heel of your standing leg. Turn the left thigh in. So the common mistake or challenge in this pose is that I see people coming into it by lifting their leg and crossing it over this way, which makes it very hard to wrap the legs. Instead, we want to come into it by turning the thigh in. So I'm rolling the inner thighs down towards each other and then lift and cross the leg over. Now, you notice I put a little block underneath my toes. So if you're working with your balance here, that could be a really nice way to just give yourself a little extra support. You can still work on squeezing the tops of your thighs together. If you have longer legs, you might be able to bring those toes all the way down to the floor. Right now, eventually, we're really focused on the hips here, but you may find it's helpful to squeeze the lower legs together as well. And depending on the rotation of your thigh, some of you might wrap the bottom toes down, but keep in mind, that's like the cherry on top. That's not that important. What's really important is rolling the inner thighs together and squeezing the hips. Now let's talk about the upper body just a little bit. So unravel your legs and give them a little shake. And we'll do the arms. So eagle is a real wrapping pose. It's like we're compressing everything that we can. So to get into this, we'll take the left arm underneath the right. So you swing them across as much as you can. Option one is you stay right here. So you can see I'm kind of working on squeezing everything in. It's like giving yourself a big hug. Now, eventually where we're going is to stack the elbows. So you might just work on hooking the elbows and squeezing them together. Some of you might be able to press the backs of the hands together. And then eventually we work to press the palms together so the whole arm wraps. But to be totally honest, the full wrapping of the legs, the full wrapping of the arms has a lot to do with the shape of your body and your joints, so don't sweat it. The idea is the compression and the squeezing in, and if you're doing that, then you're on the right track. So let's put those two pieces together now. So we'll stay on the same side. We'll sit down nice and low into a chair pose to start. Come onto your left toes, and again, turn the left thigh in. It's like a little kid who has to go to the bathroom, right? Okay, so turn the leg in, sit down lower, lift and cross the leg over. Now be careful, don't turn the leg out as you do. Keep wrapping it down and in, whoop, up and over, and then the toes can come down. You can squeeze the shins or you can wrap the toes. Make sure that there's no sensation or tweakiness in this knee. That's really important. We don't have to have any sensation in the knee. We don't want any sensation in the knee. We want to just be squeezing the thighs. Okay, open your arms. This time the left arm is going to go underneath the right. So the leg that's over is the arm that's under. Wrap. Option one, hold your shoulders. Wrap the shins or wrap the forearms. Maybe press the palms. Now, we're trying to find actually, for most versions of eagle pose that we do, we're trying to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. So if you're leaning forward a lot, see if you can draw your pelvis underneath you so that you can stack the shoulders right over your pelvis. And then squeeze in, squeeze the tops of the thighs. Use whatever is connecting here, whether it's the elbows or the forearms or the palms. Press those together to lift your chest a little bit more. And then we lift the elbows up a little bit, press the hands forward, and you get a really nice stretch across the base of your neck. All right, and unravel slowly and come out. Whew, right? That's a good pose. Let's do the other side just so we're balanced. So come on down, sit in your chair, come onto your right toes. And then again, find that little, it's almost like a screen door opening and closing. Roll in, roll the inner thighs together, sit down a little bit deeper. That's gonna help you get the leg up and over. You can put the toes on a block or the floor. You can squeeze the lower legs. You might wrap the ankles. Again, no sensation in the knee. Now, draw your tailbone down, open your arms. This time the right arm is gonna go underneath the left. Whoosh. There we go. Either hold onto your shoulders, press the forearms, or wrap the palms. All those are good. Now try to bring the shoulders back over your hips. Lift your elbows up, press your palms forward, and then find a little bit more lift of your chest. Squeeze the legs together. Draw your tailbone down. All right, inhale, unravel, and then come to stand. So with eagle pose, we get this really nice squeeze into the center line. You get to activate through the inner thighs, get a little stretch for the tops of the shoulders, and of course, it's working our balance. So enjoy.